This is iFIBER 1 News. Here are today's top stories.
The City of Quincy plans to invest $1 million into the Quincy Valley Medical Center.
Moses Lake residents are invited to an open house on Tuesday to learn about the city's proposed 0.2% sales tax.
With the annual Battle of the Basin this Friday, things around Ephrata High School have been abuzz. Big Bend Volleyball had their work cut out for them last night when they hosted the region-leading Columbia Basin Hawks.
From the iFIBER 1 newsroom, this is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
The City of Quincy plans to invest $1 million into the Quincy Valley Medical Center. Council members discussed it during their last City Council meeting. The investment would buy a fifth of the hospital debt from the county, which currently owns $5 million in warrants owed by the medical center. City of Quincy Mayor Jim Hemberry says the city rejected the idea of investing in the hospital over 4 years ago, but now a plan to merge the hospital with another health care provider seems promising.
Right now, from where we sit, that looks like a very viable plan. And obviously, it's important to the city, not only for the safety of the people who live here, but if you want to attract businesses or new people to this area, they look at safety, schools, something like hospitals and medical care. Those are important to them. And to have an ER still here in the city of Quincy is very important, and especially with all the construction that's going on here. So it looks like a very viable plan, something that the city is very interested in supporting. And one of the ways we can support that is to purchase a portion of the registered warrants that the county holds right now.
Hemberry says he's confident that the hospital can eventually pay down all of its debt because of a partnership. The city itself would make money from the interest paid by the hospital to the city. Hemberry says the city would use that money to reinvest. Money spent on the hospital would come from the general fund, the street construction reserve fund, and the water fund. $250,000 would come out of each of the four accounts. Now permanently hired Quincy Valley Medical Center CEO Glenda Bishop says the city's involvement will do wonders for the hospital and the local community.
As the CEO of the hospital, I've never been more encouraged than I am today, and the support of our city council, the support of our mayor means so much, not just to me as the CEO of Quincy Valley Medical Center, but as a taxpayer and as a resident of Quincy. To know that the city supports local hospital services, to me, is indicative of good leadership and a strong belief in a sound and healthy governmental infrastructure, which includes local health care.
Hemberry believes the City Council will officially vote to approve the purchase of hospital debt during their next meeting on October 17th. I'm Sean Goggins for iFIBER 1 News. This segment is brought to you by
Maytag and the family Pooch have a lot in common. Both are loyal, both aim to please, and both are tenacious dish cleaners. But only one can sanitize. Maytag, what's inside matters.
Maytag Appliances, now available at more furniture in Ephrata.
Moses Lake residents are invited to an open house on Tuesday to learn about the city's proposed 0.2% sales tax to fund street projects through its Transportation Benefit District. The open house starts at 6 p.m. at the Moses Lake Civic Center Auditorium, located at 401 South Balsam Street. City Manager John Williams and Municipal Services Director Fred Snodderly will be on hand to provide information and answer questions about the measure placed on the November 7th general election ballot. The City Council approved a resolution back in June to run the proposition. If approved by voters, the revenue from the sales tax can only be used for transportation and street projects and improvements. A $20 vehicle licensing fee, which went into effect last month, would be eliminated if the sales tax proposition is approved by voters. The licensing fee is expected to bring in about $333,000 in annual revenue. The proposed sales tax would raise about $1.4 million in annual revenue based on 2015 sales tax data. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
With the annual Battle of the Basin this Friday, things around Ephrata High School have been a buzz. With homecoming this weekend and the loss last weekend, there's a lot on the line for the Tigers. Ephrata head coach Jay Mills always keeps a positive attitude and is excited for the game.
Oh, it's an exciting game anytime you play a rival, and especially us versus Quincy. And it's gone back and forth the last few years. They beat us last year, so we're looking to get the trophy back. It's an exciting week for the kids, added to it with homecoming.
A loss against Othello was certainly not what the Tigers were looking for last week, but Coach Mills takes things 1 week at a time.
I mean, we're in a playoff type situation. We've got to win each game we're in from here on out to stay qualified for the postseason. So each game every Friday is the most important game, and we just concentrate on that and hope to take care of business each Friday.
Make sure to be there this Friday to see which team brings home the trophy and holds the bragging rights for the following year. I'm Adam Tchaikovsky for iFIBER 1 Sports. Big Bend Volleyball had their work cut out for them last night when they hosted the region-leading Columbia Basin Hawks. Columbia Basin came to Big Bend with a 7-match winning streak. Big Bend, who failed to put up more than 11 points in a set against Walla Walla a week ago, quickly broke that trend, keeping pace in the first game before Columbia Basin found a second win, putting the game away 25-15. In the second game, Big Bend was tied at 13-all before the Hawks turned it up a notch, pulling away late 25-17. The third game followed the trend of the first two games where the Hawks found themselves in a close fight with the Vikings before holding on for the 25-17 victory. The Vikings next hit the floor on Saturday with a home game against the Yakima. I'm Adam Tchaikovsky for iFIBER 1 Sports.
This is iFIBER 1 News. For more information on these stories and other news, visit us online at iFiber1.com or check us out on Facebook.